Hey, it's me, William, with the alternative assignment here. And for this assignment, I chose preschool quality and child development. Now, this article is about a site detailing the qualities of preschools in Columbia, South Carolina, where the school system there is more unstable than here in America. And as you can see right here, it's conducted by these people: Allison Andrew, Orazo P. Etenazzo, Raquel Burnell, Nina Cardano Sosa, Sonia Krutikova, Marta Rubio Condendo. And the site used two interventions. It used the HIM and the FE, which I'll get to in a second. But anyways, here's the information based on a study, mainly based on the child, child's age, the household the child's in, mother's education, So this is the citation for the source right here. It's from Google Scholar. It's peer reviewed, and this is my name right there, William Shetley. My email, my section number, ID number, my student ID number. Sorry, my section for this class. My phone number 773-726-7998. And so this site includes information about the qualities of preschools and child development, and tests whether preschool quality affects children's development. And the study included three sections: section A, B, and C. So Section A utilized measurement models and estimation of the latent factors of intent and analysis. Section B discussed the measures of development and constructed estimates of latent factors for cognitive development and socio-emotional development. And Section C used the same measures using the two interventions to see if the child outcomes have changed. And these changes can include the longer hours of teachers working, the preschool teachers, the teacher's role in the changes in the teacher roles in preschool activities, to see if that has effect on the way a child's outcomes have changed. The teacher's role in personal care activities, the TA role in learning activities, the TA's role in care activities, and the quality and environment of the classroom. The study was conducted using two interventions, HIM and FE. And HIM, here's me in my video. HIM stands for Hogarth Infantiles Majorados, while FE stands for Fundacional Éxito, they're Spanish words. The HIM provided preschools with additional funds, while the FE provided professional training for existing preschool teachers. And as I said, this experiment was conducted in Columbia, where the school system is more unstable, and this includes preschools. Let's see. Okay, so my opinion on the study. So I'm just going to sort of zoom this in. I'm trying to lower this down. Here we go. So The results of the study found no evidence that HIM program had any improvement in children's performance on any of the cognitive assignments. However, with the addition of the FE intervention, they did see an improvement in child cognitive skills. Now, overall, I think the main problem with overall, I think the study was okay, actually, to be fair. But I think the study easily manipulated its experimental group. This is because when many of the teachers were being experimented for this test, for this study conducted, according to the article, the training involved practical advice on how to plan and implement the high-quality learning activities. Therefore, the teachers in the experiment could have exhibited more or less productivity in training than they would have normally without the advice. So, in other words, the teachers here could have, in other words, I believe that the experimental group should not have been given advice on how to plan and implement high-quality learning activities in the study before experimenting. If they did not receive any advice beforehand, then they would have, then there would probably be less manipulation of the experimental group. So, because the teachers were already told advice on how to commit to the experiment, they could have exhibited more or less productivity, either undermining the intervention, or trying excessively too much on it. Now, there's two connections that I can relate this article to our class. The first one comes from a specific webpage from our lecture that talks about the environmental influences on human intelligence, and this was listed in our lecture for part 2, which is the lecture that was used to help us study for our upcoming exam. That being exam 4. And according to this lecture, on the lecture regarding the connection to this article in the lecture, this both the lecture talks about how schools in lower SES communities have fewer resources for the students, which can impact the child's overall cognitive ability. Well, similarly, in this article, they are testing whether the poor quality of preschools has an impact on child's development before they attend, grade school. With evidence supporting the claim that lower SES contributes to cognitive impairment in children, the article tries to do just that, provide more evidence to support that claim. So, already in the lecture, it was already supported by evidence that yes, children living in lower socioeconomic backgrounds are likely to have cognitive impairments due to bad school qualities and bad teacher performance. However, in this article, they try to experiment with that to see if this happens with preschool children before they even enter grade school. So both talk about socioeconomic status and cognitive impairment due to poor school qualities, basically. Now, at the same time, there was a video that was posted to there was a YouTube video posted to a lecture for one of the upcoming exams that were used to help us. One of the upcoming exams, I think it was for the last exam actually though, exam 3, titled Building Adult Capabilities to Improve Child Outcomes, a Theory of Change. Listed on the lecture of Biological Basis of Behavior. I think that was for a lecture not covering for this exam, but for the last exam, which was exam 3. And the video discusses how a child's learning, health, behavior are hindered by factors like abuse, violence, poverty, all that dark stuff, and how adults can use their skills to make sure a child has a well-regulated home and a school environment for their development. I think the best similarities between the article and that particular video is both the YouTube video and the article involve how adults apply their skills to children. However, I think what the video mentions is that not only do teachers, but parents can influence or impair a child's development through the decisions that they make. So if they decide to send their children to a lower, to a preschool or any school for that matter that has poor quality, then that can impair a child's cognitive abilities, which can cause lasting troubles in their academic lifestyles ahead of them. And the video touches on how parents influence their children's development in the same way that the article touches on how teachers influence a child's development. And due to the fact that both the article and the video are situated on how adults apply the skills needed for their children to develop correctly, whether it's through the parents or their teachers, I think it's best to say that the topic connects to our course's material in regards to this video. So, yeah. So yeah, this is back to the article right here. Just showing you around. Classroom activities and preschool qualities. And this was all recorded in 2024. This study was conducted in the year 2024, so last year. So it's new, it's recent, it's not old. And yeah, so that's my alternative research assignment. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah.